Hello. Hello. Hey, hey, hey. Hi. I want to address something because there was something that I saw that I wanted to address, and I think that it's real crazy why these people want to lie on me. It's just insane. Hey, I want to show you guys something. So that's from the Discord, right? So they're talking. I'm doing well. They're talking about how I doxed the place, right? And that there were kids in the background and that it was a DV shelter. So I'm going to explain it because people are stupid. First of all, that shelter does not have children at all. It's a women's shelter. That shelter was not a DV shelter. And the reason that shelter was not a DV shelter was because media was there. So because they have media there, it can't be a DV shelter because that's putting the women in safety. If they're fleeing a DV situation, that place by far is by far not a DV shelter because they have media. Because the mayor shows up, you know what I mean? That cannot be a DV situation because the news shows up. They investigate. They literally look into things. You know, they, well, not investigate. I mean, they make news reports and things like that. And because the news comes and interviews people, it cannot be a DV shelter because of that. And if people are looking for a DV shelter, that is not a DV shelter. They've already announced that. So, there was no daycare next door, so I don't know what shelter you're talking about. The first shelter I ever went to from the carjacking was not a DV shelter. I was not near a daycare, so let's not lie. And I didn't get caught filming TikToks on property. Actually, it was a worker that was there that was telling somebody, mind you, you can't really see the background, but was told another worker that I was going live there. For whatever reason, it was because I think they were jealous. And I'm not even why I'm going to get into details because I think, and this is no hate, but they were in love with someone that I think was getting a little too close to me and other people. And I have no control over what goes on. Like, if you're jealous, then I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know why people just, if someone doesn't like you, they don't like you. Like, fishing for compliments, doing certain things, that to me is weird. But anyways, we're not going to get into the whole thing because I'm not here to bash that person because, but I know because they laughed whenever that happened. I don't know what I did to that person. I didn't do anything to that person. So, like, I don't know why people want to act all nice and then treat me like shit. Like, I don't bother nobody in real life. I'm not a horrible human being to people. So I don't even get that. But anyways, that's besides the point. So the shelter I was at was not a DV shelter. And the reason why my social media was a thing is because that person knew and they told a worker that I was filming on property or whatever the case may be, which was not the case. And I was leaving property. Even another resident had vouched for me and literally said that she even seen me leave to go live off property. So, for you to lie and say that shelter is a DV shelter, no, it's not. The shelter I stayed at is not a DV shelter. And they say you can choose to be on media or not, which is like TV, the news. Because the news shows up to interview people, because they have media at that shelter, they cannot be a DV shelter because that could put other women in danger. They see a woman in the background and they're fleeing a DV situation, that could be dangerous. They do not want to have the responsibility of being responsible for someone if something happens. They don't have the safety measures for that place to be a DV shelter. So let's not lie on people, okay? I've had whole issues. And to literally say that I got in trouble because this and that, if you heard kids in the background, I literally went to a park. I literally left property to go live. Let's not lie. Someone said that I was going live at Twisters. People literally called Sonic and told them and complained about me going live there, which is why they told me I couldn't be at Sonic. So let's not go lie about that stuff, because I have way too many issues. Like, I have way too many problems, and I didn't do nothing to nobody. I don't bother nobody in real life. Whatever issues that person had with someone, I don't care. Like, I'm not here to be, I'm not involved. I was just living my life and having fun and going out. Like, my bad. Like, what? I don't even know what the whole issue was, to be honest. I know what it was. They saw what was going on. There wasn't anything. I think it was because of the way that person was treating me. Maybe they thought, oh, she likes her and not me, and, let me do, like, okay. I don't know. This person's got some crazy people after them. I'm like, man, you need to watch out, because, bruh, I don't even be bothering no one. I don't be bothering no one. I do know what the issue was. It's because that they were in love with someone. They liked somebody that I was friends with. And they took it out on me because for some reason they could be the only one. I didn't have a relationship with nobody. Okay, the way that person acted towards me is if you got an issue with that, then you got an issue with that. To, like, I don't know. It was just some things that I didn't like walked by and laughed because I got yelled at, or I didn't get yelled at, but I got told about my social media. What's so funny about that? I never did anything to you, causing me to be isolated, pushing the people away around me, sexually harassing one of my friends. You know what you did, and that's not professional when you work in a place like that, especially fishing for compliments. I'm not going to get into the whole situation, but I had nothing to do with why that person was mad. Like, I didn't even do anything to you to be that way towards me, besides the fact that I was with somebody as a friend or hanging out with someone that you was in love with, probably infatuated with, that had nothing to do with me. So you're taking it out on me. Like, I don't know what it is about jealous people, but they need to step back. They mad because whoever they like could possibly, and this has been in the past, even when I was younger, right? When I was like 10 years old, there was this guy we all liked, and my friends would only hang out with me whenever he was around. They would pretend to be my friends, but they weren't really. They started to get jealous when they started to notice that he liked me, and when people start seeing things, they take it out on me. Like, it's not my fault that people like me. I just am the way that I am, But to be like, ha ha ha, laugh, that's not funny. Like, I literally leave the property and do what I have to do, and you're just, because you're jealous. It was a jealousy thing over someone else, and like, why? I don't bother anybody. I just keep to myself. Like, and then you wanted me isolated. That worked. It's just crazy, and I'm not even gonna get into this situation. Bruh. Check some stuff, but yeah, it's because I left. So the subject had got brought up because of this right here, what I'm sharing. They said I was at a DV shelter. They said that media wasn't allowed, but I live streamed and was caught. No, I was not caught. First of all, you can't even see the background. I've already explained that I didn't go live on property. The reason why my social media was brought up, somebody at the shelter knew me from social media. At first, they were nice. Then they caught feelings for someone that I was hanging out with. You know, I'm not going to put all of that out there, but, you know, that's what happened. Because of that, they started taking out anyone who was getting too close to her. I don't got anything to do with that. So I'm just minding my own business. One day I get called over. They say something about going live. I said, no, I haven't went live. You know, you can check this. I leave property to go live. Another resident confirmed that I had been going live and leaving property to go live. So she walks by and she's like, ha 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 ha. Just like laughs at me, and I'm like, what's funny? What's and then the place got doxed. I'm not going to accuse anyone. I'm gonna say allegedly, because to me the only person who knew that I was truly there was that person. And then tried to blame it on said friend of mine and say, oh, maybe she's the one that leaked your information. I know that person would not leak my information for no way, considering the fact that she had her own stuff going on, and there's a whole reasons. But to literally try to say that my other friend leaked my information was crazy. And I even told her that. I was even like, yeah, she said that you leaked my information. I know that was not true. Like, you ain't gonna turn me against her so you can have her to yourself. That ain't gonna work. She already knew. She didn't want her. She didn't want you. Like, what do you want? Like, I don't know why people get so jealous that they take things out on me. They think I'm supposed to be someone that's not smart, that I don't know what's going on. I know what's going on. I know for a fact that my friend would never do that to me. Like, you know. But anyways, you want to lie, you can lie. The first shelter that I ever went to after the carjacking was not a DV shelter. And it was some stuff that went down. And it was over jealousy. And I had nothing to do with that except exist. I just hate it when people get so jealous. It just annoys me. And then to sit back and try to tell me about my own friend and say, well, maybe nah, I know she wouldn't do that for a fact. And there are specific reasons why I know. Like, oh, she left and you want to try to put that in my head. Like, no, goodbye. Well, it's not even, it's because I was getting close to the person that they were in love with. That's why. It had nothing to do, maybe it was a little jealousy towards me, because when you see someone getting close to somebody that you're in love with, that you want to be with, you want to have a relationship with, of course that's going to make you do things to that person and try to, you know, like, I didn't even mess with this chick. I was nice to her, but then in the end, she just started acting a ways towards me and tried to turn me against her. And it was like, nah, that ain't gonna work. I already know that she would never leak my information. For her to try to say that was weird. And then this right here, which is why that got brought up, is because they were trying to say that I got caught at the other shelter. No, that was not the case. I defended myself. I could have went into all the other stuff. I could have literally, you literally harassed my other friend, and we ain't even gonna, you don't wake somebody up and say, oh, you have a nice ass. Let's just call it for what it is. That's unprofessional. I mean, but I, being the person that I am, I'm a nice person. You know, I didn't say anything because, you know, what am I to say? I just kept it to myself. And yes, I might have, in the end, when everyone was leaving, but to be honest, like, I was a nice person. I could have, I don't tell on people, even, I mean, you know, in certain situations, if I have to tell, yes, But when it came to that, I was like, you know what? I don't want her to lose her job. I don't want things to happen. That's a HR problem. That should have went to HR. Like, I don't bother anybody. That's what I'm talking about. I don't bother people, but they seem to bother me or be bothered by me for no reason. At first, everything was cool, and I was like, okay. And then the special treatment, like, I didn't like it. Hey, TikTok star. Hey, this is a TikTok star. Like, you're in a setting where you're supposed to be professional. I'm homeless and don't have a place to go. And I have to be stuck here in this environment because I don't have anywhere else to go. And I get it. I don't want the special treatment. I don't want the favoritism. I didn't want to be known as a TikTok star. I know that I went viral and people have seen me, but then it went from that to now, because of the favoritism and because of whatever was going on, now you turned evil and you turned against me because of someone that you were in love with that was getting close to me friendship-wise, or maybe you thought was getting way more close to me in an unfriendly way. I don't know. Whatever you thought, it has nothing to do with me because I don't bother nobody. It was not like that. To try to put a wedge between me and my friend by trying to say, oh, I know for a fact she would never. So that didn't even work. You can't place blame on someone and to deflect, because I know who leaked my information, or allegedly, I believe I know, because if you're trying to deflect, there's only one person. There's only one person who knew I was at that shelter. There's only one person who knew me from social media, who knew I was at that shelter, that would have leaked it. All my other friends that knows about my social media and that was there with me would not leak my information. You got employees doxing people, allegedly. I have to say allegedly because I don't know if it's true, but that's not cool. I didn't do anything for you to treat me like that. All for the sake of being in love with someone. Like, bruh, they don't want you. They didn't respond when you try to fish for compliments. I don't want to be involved. I already seen the people that, they got some crazy people that be onto them. I don't want any of that. I'm just me, and that's all I'm gonna be. Sorry guys, I just had to respond to something, but I'm trying not to put the other person's information out there, but I am talking about the situation because it does involve me. And to be jealous because somebody's getting, how is that? That's why people don't be getting these relationships, because they be pushing people away. That's why things happen for me, because of the way that I treat people. I do not bother nobody. And to literally do that to me, and I couldn't say anything because I couldn't for sure pinpoint that it was them. So that's why I have to say allegedly. But I know there was only one person who knew where I was at and knew me from social media. When I first, my friends didn't even know anything about my social media. When I met that one person, we were talking. They didn't know anything about me. I told them I was quiet. I didn't talk to anyone. I kept to myself. I literally sat at a table by myself and didn't even talk to anybody at the shelter. I was a loner because the carjacking I shut down, I kept to myself because I was like, I don't really know anyone. I'm just, I'm here. I'm going to get some housing. I'm going to go, whatever the case may be. But after we have met and we were talking about our situations, they didn't even know anything about my social media. Any of the people that I made friends with did not know nothing. I told them about my social media. They had never even heard anything of me until I said something, and then they saw all this stuff. And I told them truthfully, I was like, yeah, And they ain't even care about that. That's neither here nor there. The whole situation, the whole thing that bugged me was the fact is that all because you had feelings for someone, and then because me and another person was close, you take it out on me. Like, you put my safety in jeopardy over someone else. And my friend would never do that to me. I'm just saying, my friend would never put my safety in jeopardy. I'm just saying, my friend would never do that to me, and it's just crazy all because you was in love. I would never do that to someone for love, even if I'm jealous. When you see other girls getting close to someone that you're in love with, of course it's going to make you do things like that. Of course it's going to make you jealous. Hey, it is what it is. Well, I'm not talking about that because it's not about them, it's about my situation. Well, the person that doxed me was a worker there, and I was a nice person. And the reason, well, allegedly, I believe, because that's the only person that knew me from social media that also knew me. There were some things. So the reason what happened was is she told one of the other workers that I was filming and going live and doing things on property. Then she laughs at me. Mind you, this is all for the sake because she was infatuated and in love with someone that I was friends with. Mind you, a lot of crazy people are after this woman. I'm sorry, I'm not putting your business out there. Please don't get mad at me. But it's true. Like, these women, I'm telling you, cuckoo bananas. And I mean, I kind of see why. But anyways, changing the subject. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't got no involvement in that whatsoever. Because of your feelings towards someone. Like I said, when you see somebody with someone that you're in love with, of course you're going to be jealous and you're going to do some things to ruin some things. It didn't work because, to me, projecting, and I say allegedly, and the reason why I think I know is because she tried to say that my friend doxed me, which was not the case. And I even told her that. I was like, yeah. And I said, I know you wouldn't do that. Like, she tried to put a wedge in between me and the other person because she thought that would, like, break us up. And that didn't work. I did not have a relationship with her. Like, so I think maybe she didn't like the fact of, like, the treatment I was getting. Or, we were hanging out a little too much and she didn't like that. Oh, that's mine. In people's heads, sometimes they have this fantasy of, like, oh, she's mine. Like, back off. I ain't gonna fight people over nobody. I'm going to tell you that. You can have them. I'm just saying. There isn't no competition when it comes to this. Because, to be honest, and I'm going to be 100%, like, yeah, I was just friends with the person. But in any situation, if someone's jealous and someone likes me, like, in the past, like I said, in my childhood, when we all liked this guy, and then they started to get jealous because they started to notice he liked me. Like, it ain't no competition. You could try to knock me out of the way. I'm going to win every time. It is what it is. Call me cocky or whatever, but I don't have to do nothing. All I have to do is be myself, be kind in real life, be nice, be a good person. That's it. That is all. What people be doing the most, and you're pushing people away by doing the most. You don't have to do all of that. Just be kind and genuine. It's like pushing yourself on someone. Why do you push yourself on someone? That's the uncomfortability. You don't care about people's boundaries when you keep trying to push those boundaries. If someone is not reciprocating towards you, you can't make somebody love you. Like that song, I can't make you love me if you don't. I can't make your heart feel something it won't. Here in the dark in these final hours. Like, hello? You're trying to force someone to love you when they don't love you. That's all I'm going to say. Sorry, I'm not putting shelter. Okay, don't get mad at me, because I know they like to watch my live recaps and get a laugh. But the reason why I brought up the situation is because of this, and because it involves me, which I forgot about the whole situation until that got brought up. So the first shelter I was ever at, which Discord is lying, was not a DV shelter. The reason why they had an issue with my social media is because of someone who was jealous, infatuated with someone that I was with. It was a whole jealousy thing. And then they tried to flip the script and say that she was the one who doxed me, which I know she wasn't. And yeah, for however long we were hanging out, she would have already doxed me if that was the case, and she didn't. That didn't make no sense to me, because it's like, we were hanging out all this time, but now you want, and I didn't believe that. Like, you ain't gonna lie to me, whatever the case may be. Well, they were. I don't know why people tries to ruin relationships. People like me for who I am. That's just how it was with another person that they liked me, and it could have been a relationship, but the friend got in the way, and then they ended up dating for 8 months, which didn't work out, trying to tell him a whole bunch of shit about me that wasn't true, excuse my language, and then she did ruin the relationship. I could have been in relationships. It's always someone that is jealous that gets in the way. Like another relationship, this guy, like, giving me certain attention, and people didn't like that. When he would mention me on the live, I knew in the group chat I would get it, because we were in a group on Telegram. Sure enough, they start picking on me because he mentioned me, because they thought he gave me a little too much attention. And I'm like, I'm just myself. People like me. I can't help that. Like, and I remember in elementary school, this one girl found out that I liked the same person she liked, and she told me, because we go in line by alphabetical order, so I'm the last person, and she is in front of me. She turns around and tells me, you can't like him, only I can. And I'm just like, he probably doesn't even like me anyways. But yeah, it's been like that throughout my life. Like, people have ruined relationships for me because they're jealous. Like, look, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you and fight you over somebody. You can have them. They don't want you, but you can. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and fight over a relationship with someone. Bruh. I don't even bother anybody. And for you to, like, take that out on me, like, I was kind and nice. I was respectful, but, with my boundaries and stuff, I should have drew the line, because it was always, hey, TikTok star, and I was like, I don't really like that. And I told my friend a lot of things I didn't like, but I couldn't really speak up or say much. I don't have another place to go, and I just have to make do with what I got. She was like, hey, TikTok star. Like, okay, when I first got there and she first seen me, she recognized me from TikTok. She's a worker that works there. I was like, okay. Then it started to become some slight favoritism I didn't like. It wasn't like I could get away with doing things, if that made sense. I followed the rules. I didn't try to take advantage or try to do what I wanted because she was giving me favoritism. It wasn't like that. It was like, I can't even explain what the type of favoritism I was receiving, but I still had to follow the rules, if that made sense. Then it became a whole thing where she just became jealous. She became jealous, and then she took it out on me. So there's that. That's basically what happened. Yeah, that's why I brought up this whole situation, is because of this right here in the Discord where they lied. It was not a DV shelter, and the reason why they had an issue was my social media, because a worker, lied and said I was filming on property, and even another resident confirmed that they know that I leave Because they even said, be careful. They said, stay safe, because they knew that, I was being harassed on social media. So they're like, are you okay to go out there? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. You know how older people are. They worry a lot. And considering the fact that I didn't want her to worry too much. She had a heart condition. She had her issues going on. And, yeah, that's the one that I think is not alive. Because the last time we had a conversation was last year on November. And yeah, it's hard. Anyways, I don't bother anyone. That's crazy to me that you take it out on me because of your infatuation with someone. Like, bruh. I don't know. This lady has some... I wish I had that type of mojo, that type of, damn. Because, bruh. I'm not even gonna get into something else that happened to me that I tried the process. I still don't even know what that meant. Anyways, like I said, yeah, imagine these women after you, bruh. And not in a weird way, you know what I mean? I'm not watching their Discord. My mom sent me the screenshots. I'm not going to say who. Someone sent those screenshots. And clearly, I wanted to address that because that is false. First of all, the first shelter I was at after the carjacking was not a DV shelter. The whole situation with my social media stemmed from a jealousy thing. And that's that. And that's why I talked about the situation. So, yeah. I didn't go live in the shelter. I didn't go live in the shelter. I didn't go live in the shelter. They were saying that I was going live outside, outside on the property. I was told no social media on property, so I left. And to literally tell you guys the truth, right? Because some of you guys are acting like they literally called Sonic. They saw people recognize I was live at Sonic, called Sonic, and Sonic said, you have to leave property. You cannot go live here because, I'm just sitting there and I'm not buying anything. They even saw me at Twisters and said, you can't go live, or they were going to try to call Twisters and say that I was going live there. So yeah, let's not. I left and I would go live at the park, or I would find somewhere to go live. So yes, I did get caught going live at Sonic. It's not... Hello. And then, hearing kids in the background, I would take the bus to a park and go live. So yeah. Yeah, I know they didn't allow loitering, so to sit there and say that I got caught going live at the shelter is a lie, considering the fact that that's proven that I left the shelter to go live. So let's not lie on people. Discord. You don't know the whole situation, and I'm not even going to get into it. Because I'm not going to put other people's business out there, but I can speak for myself. I might have to get off soon. But anyways, like I said, I don't bother nobody. Even people that knows me in real life, and I'm talking people that hung out with me, they see the difference from online versus in real life. And that's why they don't really believe some of the stuff. I don't bother with anyone. Whatever you got going on with someone, which they didn't have anything going on, why take it out on me? And then walk by and laugh at me all over some chick that you wanted. Bruh. I don't fight people over somebody because it's not worth it, you know? Why are you fighting women over men? Why are you fighting women over women? Why are you fighting for the attention that the person is not giving you? I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I already have the money to pay storage next month. I don't know who Melissa is. So, yeah. I got the money from Temu. They paid me the last of my money. This is not here to talk bad about anyone. This is not here, like I said, allegedly. Because I can't really definitively say. But if you're trying to place blame on someone else and say somebody else did it, more likely 100 times out of 10, you're the person who was behind it. Because why are you trying to put blame on someone else? I never even accused her for her to try to say it was my friend. That didn't even make sense why you were trying to... I don't even know, like, it's so crazy to literally try to place blame elsewhere when there was not even anyone looking in your vicinity. Like, I am not even sitting here accusing anyone of anything. Like, I didn't point fingers at her. I did nothing. And for her to literally, you know, and I did have my accusations because of the fact there was only one person who knew me from social media, one person who really knew I was there, one person I really know that could have done it, you know, that I hadn't known for that long. Yes, I paid last month's because I was late. I paid this month's because it was due, and now I'm going to pay next month. Why would she beat me up for? I didn't do anything to her. I don't know who that Melissa chick is. I don't know Melissa. Is that who you're talking about? Who's Melissa? I don't know Melissa. It went up, so it was 201, but now it's like 231. Yeah, the rent went up. I didn't mention Melissa. I don't know who you're talking about. I didn't mention a Melissa. The person I'm referring to, I'm not naming. I'm not naming anybody, so... Well, you can say whatever you want to. Yeah, I got paid $800. Yes, so I paid it. Because I was late last month, and I paid this month, and I'm paying next month. And I paid my phone bill. I have people that really respects me, and I'm not trying to break people's respect or trust or put anything out there like that, right? And I am worth something because I have people that truly cares about me, that cares about my well-being, my safety, and they ask if I'm safe. Someone who is asking me if I'm safe would not be doxing me. Like, I don't bother nobody, and for people to justify that is crazy. All over jealousy. Like, that's not okay. Whatever you want to have, whatever you want between that person has nothing to do with me. They liked me because I'm a genuinely cool person to hang out with. you know. No, I don't have 400 left. I already told you I paid my phone bill. That was $55. I paid storage. That's like $231 plus $231. So that's like $62. So that's $462. And then I still have about another $231 left. I paid my phone bill, and I did eat out like a little bit. I had dinner, and I forgot to cancel my subscription, so Disney Plus took their subscription out, and I forgot to cancel that. So yeah, yeah, that's what happened. So yeah, I did eat out because, I didn't have dinner, and I wanted the Big Mac, the chicken nuggets with the Big Mac sauce. So yeah. Because I will get fired. Who is Melissa? Why do you keep saying I doxed Melissa? I didn't dox Melissa. I haven't doxed anybody, so I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about someone that doxed me? Like, nowhere did I dox anybody. Like, what? No, I didn't dox her. I'm Melissa Velasquez. I don't know what you keep talking about. I didn't dox anyone. Are you trying to... I think you're trying to name people because you think that that's where I'm at. And you're trying to name a person that is at a place that I'm not. I am not there. So, I don't know why you doxing people just to make it seem like I dox them, when that's not why. You're not asking if I dox that person. You're trying to name them because they're probably at a place you think I'm at. I'm not there. So weird. Yeah, that's why you are naming a person that at a place that you think I'm at. I am not at a place where that person is at. You're trying to pass it off as trying to make it seem like I doxed that person. I didn't dox anyone. Oh. It's not cured. But anyways, yeah, my phone is about to die and I gotta charge my phone. But that whole weirdness about trying to lie on me, I hate when people try to lie on me. I'm not even near a daycare. They tried to say the first shelter that I was at. Was literally a DV shelter, and that I was by a daycare. The shelter is not by a daycare. So let's not lie. I was not at a shelter that was near a daycare. People knew where I was at. They literally doxed the place. And I allegedly think I know who it was. But besides the point, people knew where I was at. They was calling the place. You could search up the old place and see that it's not by a daycare. It was at an old shelter. I mean, an old hospital. It used to be a hospital. And now it's an old hospital turned into shelters. Because, first of all, she tried to place blame on my friend and say my friend doxed me. That's how I know that it was allegedly them. Because why are they telling me that? I didn't even blame her. I didn't even tell anybody that she had doxed me. I didn't say nothing like that. So for her to try to point fingers elsewhere, why are you trying to point fingers at someone when no one even blamed you? No one even said it was you. So that leads me to believe projection, trying to put it on someone else. My friend would never do that to me. My friend would never dox me. My friend would never do that. I don't need to survive off of $250. I don't pay rent anywhere, so I don't know what you're talking about. How am I going to survive? I already have my hygiene products. I have my deodorant, I have my toothbrush, I have my shampoo, my conditioner. I have everything that I need. I don't need anything. But yeah, that's what happened. So basically she tried to blame someone else and the blame didn't work. And to me, it was like, why would you tell me that out of nowhere? I'm just sitting there and I'm just minding my own business, and the next thing I know, she comes up to me, she's like, then she tells me, you know what? She goes, because people started calling. Then she said, I think it was your friend that doxed you, and tried to tell me some BS, and I was just like, like, yeah, but I didn't say yeah like that. I was just letting her think, like, yeah, letting her think I believed her lies, because I'm not stupid. You're not playing boo-boo the fool, okay? I know exactly what the whole situation was, and to me, now all of a sudden, and it doesn't make sense. If you're so in love with someone, why would you lie on them? Bruh. They didn't want you, so now you wanted to lie on them. Weird, but okay. You wanted to lie on someone because they didn't want you. And it was apparent they had no feelings towards you. Okay. Anyways. I didn't blow the money if I paid the rent. Does that make sense? How do I blow money if I paid the rent? Like, I have no income. I'm not blowing it. I literally just paid my bills. My storage. That's what I'm talking about. Storage rent. But anyways, I don't have $250 left. I just told you I had $237. That's enough to pay the storage. I do not have $250 left. You pocket watching. Where are you gonna pocket watch me? Yes, but I had to pay the storage. It has my brother's stuff in it. And I'm trying to get a place so I can eliminate that storage. Yes, I know it adds up, but I don't got a choice. Right now, I just gotta try to keep paying it until I get a place and I don't have to pay it anymore. On my storage, $400 of it, $462 went to storage. I paid $55 for my phone bill. On top of paying $55 for my phone bill, I also did buy a few things here and there on DoorDash. I got my body wash that I needed because I ran out of the body wash. I needed a towel because all my towels were back at the other place and I had to get me some towels. So I didn't have any. How am I supposed to shower without a towel? Well, it's not going to be gone. I don't have between $200 to $300 left. I only have $231 in pocket watching, bitch. I don't have that much left. Stop pocket watching me and watch your own pockets. They empty as fuck. You don't even got $200 in your bank account and you worried about mine. You probably got 1 penny in your bank account and you worried about what my pockets got. Worry about your pockets. Don't worry about mine. You know why I'm broke? Almost completely is because I paid bills, you dumb bitch. Why are you sitting here literally complaining and being like you're almost broke again? Yeah, because I paid bills. I don't see you broke and paying bills. You can't say you broke from paying bills. You broke from pocket watching people. Your pockets are emptying as we speak. Who said I'm pocket watching famous people? Tell me when a famous person could take a Rolex with them to the grave, considering the fact that a lot of people are talking about the insensitive celebrities that are spending thousands of dollars on shit that they don't really need, expensive cars, expensive houses, and all of that, when there's people struggling to afford to eat, struggling to afford to even have a place to live. Overconsumption, dumbass. People are upset over the overconsumption. These large corporations that sell $1,000 bags, that sometimes they sell crazy ass stuff like shoes with holes in them, like, oh, a distressed shoe for $1,000, and people be buying into that, and they know that they can sell it because their consumers are the rich people, right? When we talk about that, we talk like how Michaela comes online and literally does a Chanel haul, and literally does a $40,000 Chanel haul when people are barely being able to afford to struggle. If it was me, I wouldn't be coming on here talking about, if I made money talking about buying all this expensive shit. It has nothing to do with pocket watching. It has everything to do with empathy and how you view and see others. Because if you're on here flaunting your shit, then you do not care about people that do not have nothing. Because why are you on here even bragging about half the shit you buy? Because you see the way the world is. You see that people are struggling. And when it comes to that, they know their audience. You are trying to relate to an audience that you cannot relate to because you're in a whole different tax bracket. When you make thousands more dollars than your audience, right? And you're coming on here flashing your expensive jewelry or whatever it is that you want to flash, your $40,000 Chanel haul. People are not going to resonate with you. They're not going to connect with you, because who's going to want to connect with you? People are not connecting with Michaela. They're actually saying they disconnected from Michaela, because how are they going to relate to someone that is doing a $40,000 Chanel haul? Someone who is literally using their divorce to make money. Someone who used their ex's recovery to make money. You literally talked about his whole recovery for some money. Because they posted online. What do you mean, how do we know? Because they posted online. They post it all the time. They post when they get brand new cars. They post when they buy jewelry. They post their diamond chains. These rappers ain't walking around with fake chains. You got, what's that old lady? I forget her name. Her son's a rapper. Something Welch. And she comes on here and she's spreading a whole stack of money down her arms. Do people literally get shot up and unalived for flaunting money online? You're asking for your life to be taken. People have to learn to stop flaunting money online. These rappers start posting wads of cash, bags full of money, and then they wind up unalived because they got caught up. They saw where they was at, and they pulled up to them and robbed them of their money and unalived them. Like, you can't be doing that online. If I was making all this money, I wouldn't be flaunting it online. That's the type of stuff that gets you robbed. That's the type of stuff that gets you caught up and unalived and your safety put in danger. They know you got it because you flaunting it. What do you do besides sit on here and complain? If you think that's complaining, then I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, I gotta go charge my phone. Yeah, my phone is overheating too, so I gotta get in my pajamas and get ready for bed. But anyways, have a good day or night where you guys are like, oh, I forgot I gotta charge that. So, well, I can't do it tonight. I'll do it tomorrow. In between the time that I have my Switch, because I've been playing GTA Vice City. But anyways, have a good day or night where you guys are. We'll see you guys later. Stay safe. And I'm gonna go get some sleep. Anyways, guys, good night. Have a good day or night where you guys are. And I will see you guys later. Bye.